Hey, welcome back to another branch port with me, Dewaldo, where we look at different NetHack variants. So you might be looking at this and saying, this looks like the weirdest, strangest NetHack variant I've ever seen, and you'd be right. It's very weird and strange. I wanted to start this episode looking at a variant called Grunthack. Now, there are two ways of doing Grunthack. You can download the, what would you call it, pre-compiled files. So all of the C files, and all of the headers, and everything like that. And then you can run it through a compiler for C code in order to make it playable, since there's no, post-compiled. I don't know, I'm very new to this programming thing. There's no compiled versions, there's no installers, there's no runnable exes or anything like that. Or, there's another option, a much cooler option, which I'm going to show you now. So I'm running a Windows 7 box, but I believe this looks same in a Windows 8 box, and I'm sorry I'm running a very silly operating system, you can all make fun of me. But we're going to play this online using I don't know what you would call it, like a connection program. We're going to use Telnet. So open your control panel, go on down to Programs, click on Programs and Features, and then click on this. Oh, you can see all my programs too, all my weird secrets. You want to click on this guy over here. And it's basically going to load and load and load and load and load, and forever. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll unpause it when it's done loading. Alright, we're back. I did a little bit of looking up. So what we have and what we're going to enable is scroll all the way down until you can see this, Telnet. So you just need to enable Telnet Client. Just click on that if it's not clicked, and Windows will download the file for you. So, what is Telnet? I looked it up on Wikipedia, so now I know. It's a client-server protocol. So it establishes a connection with a server, and instead of feeding you back in a nice multimedia HTTP page, it gives you something much better. It gives you all text. Because that's all you need, right? It's a text connection with a server. So if you are a roguelike player already, you're saying, yes, that's all I need. All I need is the text. Just give me those sweet, sweet words. So once you've got it all installed and ready to go, you just type in Telnet. Boom! So now it says Microsoft Telnet, and it gives you the escape character. We're going to type the command O for open, and then what we're going to open is grunthack.org. And then it connects to the server that's associated with that name on port 32. And boom, here we go. We have grunthack.org 1.5.1. So I'm actually going to resize this screen so you don't get all this other cruft. And let's dive in. There we are. So you might be getting a little bit of black bar-age on the side, but I think we're ready to go. So now let's dive into Grunthack. So first little thing, this server variation of Grunthack uses same sort of thing that I'm being very technical here, using the same sort of thing that NetHack does, a system called dgame launch. So you can use the same sort of telnet process to access just vanilla NetHack servers in a very same way. So let's go ahead and register a new user. This is the first time I've done this. So let's do Dewaldo. Oh. There we go. Please enter a password. I'm going to pause this just in case it doesn't blur it out. Okay, should be okay to go. It does it the same way that Linux does it, where it just puts it all on one square and makes it invisible, so don't be freaked out when you can't see stars or anything appear. And again, what is this nonsense? Cool, ready to go. Please enter your email address. Okay, you can't see this either. Woot! So we're all done registration. Let's actually start a-playin'. Log in, and now P. There we go. Based on NetHack by Stitching Mathematisch Centrum and M. Stevenson. Let's pick our own, and we can comment on any new races or roles. So it looks like all of the roles are pretty much same-ish. What should I pick? Just want to pick a barbarian. Human, orc, and you can see a new race there. We have giant. So of all of the races in NetHack, they have all of the same. Elves are unrestricted, so they aren't just forced to be chaotic. They've added giant and ogre and also kobold. So giant, ogre, and kobold are the three races that have been added. Let's be a giant. I've got to be a male giant. I got to be big, and I got to be chaotic. Of course. So here we are. It's going to be classic interface. Oh, okay. And the movement keys are going to be classic movement keys. So H, J, K, and L. So it might be a little bit to get used to it. Diagonals? What are diagonals? There's something. I know there's something. So I think the first thing to comment on is the interface, which if you look... Okay, let's open the door with J. There we go. You can see there's color that's been added. So if you look at my status bar, changes are usually notified by color. My health went down, so it turned green. Also, Gecko... Oh, Gecko's in front of me. Sorry, I didn't even see that. And I killed the fox. There we go. So my health is in green because it's down right now. I'm still getting used to these key combos. And the time feature is in blue. Also, if you look at the display that I'm moving around, everything in my view is currently kind of a lighter color, like a white, and anything that's not in my view, I'm going to just move kind of in and out, is a gray color, which it doesn't do in NetHack proper, I believe. But other than that, it looks like all of the item things are mostly the same. So that's one thing it does add for the interface. As for the dungeon itself... Oh, come on. That way, up. Oh, I'm going down. That's alright. As for the dungeon itself, it does add quite a few more dungeon features. Gehenna has been remodeled, so instead of a series of mazes, like very annoying mazes like it is in my NetHack Let's Plays that you're seeing, it's instead a series of kind of caverns and... Oh, actually, let's search, not wait. It's a series of caverns, not mazes. Gnomish Mines also looks a little bit different. Elemental planes are in random order. Sokoban has changed quite a bit. There are additional levels, and depending on how well you do, you can actually obtain a number of... Well, you can obtain one of a number of different Sorry, it's hard to play with these weird key combo of gifts from Sokoban. So that's pretty cool. Kill that jackal. Clove of garlic, I'll pick that up. There are also additional demon lords in Gehenna. So the ones that they have in original NetHack, I believe you've seen. Oh, let's see if I can remember. Asmodeus, he's a big one. There's also Jewiblex and Beelzebub are kind of the big demon lords that you'll find. But in this game, they have also added Yanogu, Geryon, Dispatcher, and Demogorgon, which is a pain. Demogorgon has, I believe, like a petrifying attack that's really annoying to deal with. So adds a little bit more challenge and adds, some more variety to the game instead of just having to stumble through all those mazes before, which can get quite annoying. Now you have the option. Now you have a little bit more variety, like nice caverns, cool lava pools. Like, it seems much more like, sorry about the train. It seems much more like hell, and like a physical hell, and less like a mental hell. So you saw me pick up that amulet. I think it's a good opportunity for me to talk a little bit about the item changes that have been implemented in Grunthack. Sorry about this. Weapons have been modified quite a bit, and I think this system has been copied by a couple other NetHack variants. Let's just go to the down staircase. They've added additional properties to non-artifact weapons, so it's possible to get, for example, armor of fire resistance, or non-artifact banes, I believe. So you could get like a rat bane or something to that effect, which does bonus damage to a certain kind of creature. And don't quote me on this, but I believe I'm just going to go without my pet. I believe they're non-artifacts. Also, some more item interactions have been there have been an increase in item interactions. Oh, what am I seeing there? Okay, there we go. You can dip wands in potions of gain ability, and they can, of course, gain abilities now, which is really cool. You can also throw wands and scrolls, I believe, which will release a little scrolls for sure. I don't know about wands, and they'll release a little bit of its magic, which can have an effect on monsters. So that's another cool interaction that can happen. What is that? That's kind of following me. Darn it. Not the arrow keys. So, specify unknown object. Yes. Let's move the cursor towards it. So there's the cursor. Oh, wait. Move it one back. Bew. A dwarf. Okay. More info? Nah. Let's just kill it. Rah. Whoa, dwarfish matic. That could leave a dent in me. Holy smokes, 13. Am I gonna just die outright? So I guess additional properties on weapons, or just objects in general, armor as well, and different, cool, I killed him. Different effects with scrolls, that's kind of the big one, I think. There are also some minor ones, like in the game, a fake amulet of Yendor would never be able to go in a container, and that would make an easy way for identifying which amulet is a fake amulet of Yendor if you ever get kind of mixed up. They fixed that. So now it makes it harder and more annoying. So a little bit about monsters. As you can probably tell from this game, it's kind of like a nice halfway between... Let's see if I can put these on. Between Slash 'em, which is kind of everything in the kitchen sink. You know, there's tons of new monsters. There's tons of cool, like, new weapons and cool new armor and tons of stuff like that. But this game doesn't have quite as many additions as Slash 'em does, but it's not kind of austere the same way that Sporkhack was. So Sporkhack was very like, they didn't try and add too much. It was mostly about balancing NetHack so that people just couldn't make NetHack bots that run away with the game. It was more focused on balance. Grunthack does add a couple. It adds things like the Beholder, and also, let me check. I know that Vorpal Jabberwock is another one, so it's kind of like a stronger version of the already pretty powerful Jabberwock. What has really kind of gone up is the monster AI and several features of monsters. So I talked a little bit about lycanthropy, which is monsters kind of changing into other things, and that's exactly what it is here. It's not just changing into a rat or a wolf, and it's not just a human that changes into a rat or a wolf. It's it can be any monster can change into its cursed form, which can be any other thing. You can also see what monsters have equipped. So if I were to look at that dwarf that I had killed, and maybe I'll try with the next monster. I forgot you could do this, so I didn't test it out. You can actually see if it's packing dwarvish mithril, and maybe I should, leave it alone for now. Or I could have seen that it had that matic, and it probably could have taken a chunk out of me with it. Good things to know. All good things to know. Oh, that was the dwarves' tunnel, so let's not go that way. The AI has been dramatically improved as well, so monsters are a little smarter in how they behave and interact. Oh, I don't want to move. There we go. As a giant, I can also push through boulders the way that giants can, just kind of move over them, which is useful. What else has changed? Lots of monsters were given different attacks, so things like dragons and gelatinous cubes were given engulfing attacks where they can actually swallow you whole and do a buttload of damage. If you noticed, when attacking that newt, it gives more detailed descriptions whenever you've been hit by something, and it tells exactly what piece of armor was responsible for, deflecting a blow or blocking someone's shot. So very useful. What else is on the agenda? They basically did all of the kind of balancing features that Sporkhack kind of does. things like making sure pudding farming isn't as easy to do. So let's take a look. Actually, I did look at that dwarf, didn't I? Crap. No. I forget that I can't use the arrow keys. So look, specify. Then I gotta use these. I want to look over. I want to see, first of all, what that is, because I'm still not very great with my ASCII, and then see if it's wearing anything. So it is a Zan, or a grid bug. More. Let's look at the more info. Okay, so that's just the... Yeah. It's not wearing anything because it's a bug. But otherwise, perhaps it could have been. So I can't really show off that feature too much. I wonder if it did show me. Let's just kill it. Hooray! One really neat tweak is with the zombies. They actually kind of have a brain-eating attack, similar, I guess, to a mind flayer, where they will eat your brain, and then if you come back, you won't leave a regular bones file, you will be a zombie again. So they seem like super deadly. They seem really scary now, instead of just being sort of a, crappy undead creature. Instead, you've got something that can really pack a wallop. And also, there can be grudges. Oh, so here we go. Here's a humanoid. Now I'm going to check that feature. See exactly what he's packing. Normal, infravision. So there we go. I think I might have gotten that, but I just clicked through it really quickly. So he's packing a dagger and a pair of iron shoes. I don't need more info. So you can see what they're wearing. And I just killed him one hit. Sweet. Didn't show me the coins, though, which makes sense. You only really need to see the weapon and the armor and whatnot. So there can be grudges, like certain creatures that have grudges against others, or even things like shopkeepers that have grudges against your specific race. So they'll charge you extra if you try to buy stuff from them. Now, I'm intentionally not going through locked doors, just because with this layout scheme, I don't know how you loot, or I'm not sure how you loot, and I'm not quite sure how you kick, since I'm using K and L to move. I thought it was Control and then. It might be Alt. And I'm going to check out what... Ooh. Darn. I'm going to check out what this thing is exactly. Oh yeah, iron bars or sink. Probably sink. Yeah, it says sink. No, I'm good. Yeah, so grudges seem like a fun little kind of addition to the game. And I think that's a pretty good look at kind of what Grunthack has to offer. I'm sorry there were a lot of ums and ahs in this cast. I'm usually a little bit better about not having to overly long pauses or kind of keeping the flow going, but I'm a little tired today, and I wanted to get this out because I haven't updated it in a little while. So this is what you get. But I still think it's a fantastic game. Like, when I was trying Sporkhack, I saw, like, oh yeah, like, it's good that things are balanced, but what does it really add? What can I really glom onto? And with Slash'em, it was like, oh, this adds so much. Like, I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm, fighting, and there's extra levels and extra weapons and stuff like that. But, like, it was a little bit too much, and not a little, I wouldn't say a little bit too much, but I kind of went into it with the knowledge, knowing that, like, I know this stuff isn't quite balanced, like the way that Sporkhack would be, and that kind of isn't, it takes out a little bit of the fun for me, knowing that you can abuse it just as much as you could NetHack, whereas Grunthack kind of strikes a balance. It adds a lot, but it also does not sacrifice any balance. So that's great. And I also wanted to look at Grunthack because as I look at actively developed variants, which Grunthack is not, you will see that a lot of them borrow a lot from Grunthack. How weapons are handled, how the interface looks, different small things like that Grunthack developed. And I'm saying Grunthack developed, but Grunthack, I believe it uses a bunch of extra patches, like small sort of NetHack snippets that other people have coded. So although Grunthack has added it, I say, things like menu colors, like configurable colors in menus, was a patch by, and I'm reading straight from the wiki, which I've done for a lot of this cast because I'm super professional and great. You guys should like, comment, and subscribe. But that comes from someone, Pazzy Kalnin. And same with the like monster grudges and monsters attacking each other without provocation. That comes from the grudge patch by someone named Neffy. So a lot of the stuff is just kind of bringing together all of these things that work and making them all work together. So that's sort of what Grunthack is doing or has done, and it was being actively developed for quite some time. I think the last release was in 2012, 0.2.0, but it's not being developed any longer, so that's a sadness. Next, I don't know what I'm going to look at next. I still have to get things running up on my Mac. I haven't had a lot of time to do that. So, oh no, not the Roth. Those things can actually pack a punch. Cool. But, oh wow, I killed it in one hit. I might try and take a look at, so I have looked at Slash'em, but someone has made a branch of Slash'em, which actually looks pretty good. So I think that might be worth a look. And I think this episode has gone on long enough. So thank you for watching. Take care.